Well, I know everybody has their fingers crossed that it will be achieved, because most people are convinced that it is paramount that Canada be part of the revised NAFTA, or it will have a very tough time getting approved by Congress. So we're all hoping that something can happen. A rabbit can get pulled out of the hat perhaps by Friday, if not by Friday, sometime very soon after that. It's very crucial that Canada be part of this agreement.
So why is it so important, and what does Canada's involvement look like?
Well, over the last 25 plus years that NAFTA has been in effect, the three economies have become highly integrated. The supply chain between the three countries is really just one supply chain now, especially, as everybody knows, from autos is a great example. So to break up that, you would be breaking up that supply chain if you had only a US-Mexico FTA, or if you had a US-Mexico FTA and a US-Canada FTA, and they were distinct agreements from each other. Most of the businesses in the United States that are watching this very closely are adamant that the supply chains that exist today require a three-way deal. So Canada has to be part of it. It has to be part of the motor vehicle chapter. It has to be part of what we do on steel and aluminum. It's very important, obviously, that it's part of the agriculture trade liberalization between the three countries. It's a key part of the U.S. economy today.
Laura, let's talk through the timeline of this. Obviously, the Americans need to get Canada on side, as you mentioned, but there's also that Mexican presidential transition to contend with. Realistically, this won't get to Congress until after the midterm elections in the United States, right? Which means a new Congress could potentially roll it. Does that put this trade deal in doubt?
Well, that's an excellent question, and one that we're all wondering about. I think that the Ambassador Lighthizer had that very firmly in mind when he negotiated with Mexico some of the labor provisions of NAFTA. He knows Ambassador Lighthizer knows he's going to need to get a lot of Democrat votes to get this this revised NAFTA, however it ends up being characterized, through the Congress next year, especially if there are a lot more Democrats there in both the House and the Senate, and even more so if the Democrats take control of either the House and or the Senate. So it will be very important that they are on board. And so he's including some interesting provisions, at least as we've been able to ascertain them so far, that seem to indicate that he's got a very firm eye on that vote next year and how to make it a success.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.